Great. Thanks for watching our presentation today. My name is Theodora Roque, and I have Anshul with me as well, and we're going to be presenting today on Shopify. So Shopify is a cloud-based e-commerce platform that offers tools to individuals, small businesses, and large corporations to help them market and sell their products and services online. Shopify's platform is used by more than 1.5 million merchants who operate in more than 175 countries worldwide, and there have been more than $250 billion in sales in total on Shopify. Shopify's mission is to make commerce better for everyone. We help people achieve independence by making it easier to start, run, and grow a business. We believe the future of commerce has more voices, not fewer, so we're reducing the barriers to business ownership to make commerce better for everyone. Shopify is a private Canadian multinational company that is headquartered in Ottawa, Ontario, and has offices in Montreal, Toronto, New York, San Francisco, and New Zealand. As of December 2020, Shopify has more than 7,000 employees working across Canada, the US, Europe, Asia, New Zealand, and Australia. They've implemented a digital by default employment arrangement, which allows most of their employees to work remotely. Shopify has two main revenue streams: subscription solutions, which is subscriptions to their platform, and merchant solutions, which includes payments, shipping, and more additions to the basic platform. In the 2020 annual report, they state that they are focusing on a growth strategy and are investing heavily to drive their organization's growth. So to complete the mind maps that I did, I decided to use MindMap, which is a free platform available online for public use. I started by going through the textbook to determine which concepts were relevant to Shopify to determine what I needed to include in my map. So the first one you're seeing here is the budgeting mind map I created. In terms of budgeting, I decided to exclude the production budget, direct materials budget, direct labor budget, overhead budget, merchandise purchases budget, and ending inventory budget. I made this decision because Shopify is a service company, and therefore only the operating expenses budget was relevant here. Although Shopify does sell point of sale terminals to their merchants, they outsource the production of this to a third party and therefore do not have a production or materials budget associated with this. The operating expenses that Shopify would include on their budget are related to sales, marketing, research, and development. And so here we have the relevant costs mind map. In terms of relevant costs, I included the framework for determining which costs are relevant. And then I also included an overview of the applications of relevant costing. I chose to include make or buy decisions because Shopify outsources production of their point of sale terminal. They hire third-party contractors to do creative work and development, and therefore they likely use relevant costing to determine whether they should make or buy on a regular basis. I chose to include utilization of a constrained resource because Shopify has a highly skilled workforce, and choosing which services to offer and how to allocate their resources would be a decision they make on a regular basis. Adding and dropping product lines and other segments was also included because Shopify has experimented with the introduction of new products and services over the years, and they, based on their reception and success, they have had to make decisions to keep or drop those segments. Since Shopify operates in a highly competitive environment, their approach to pricing new products and services is highly important to their success. If another e-commerce platform offers an option to merchants at a much cheaper price, then Shopify will lose their business. So both budgeting and relevant costs would be important to the human resources department at Shopify due to the interrelated nature of costs with labor force decisions. HR would need to make recruitment decisions based on the budget, such as how much to spend on recruitment efforts, and based on relevant costs, such as is it more cost-effective to recruit online or in person at one school versus another school. HR would also need to make selection and hiring decisions based on the budget. For example, can they afford the salary that a certain individual commands? And it would be based on relevant costs in the sense of, is it more cost-effective to hire engineer A or engineer B? Let's say engineer A is fully trained, highly skilled, but wants a high salary, where engineer B would need investments in training and development, but only wants a lower salary. There are a plethora of other HR-related decisions, and they're all dependent upon budgets and relevant costing. You must consider if the funds are available to make the decision and whether that decision is cost-effective compared to the other options available. Now Anshul will take you through his mind maps.
So for activity-based costing, rather than merely allocating cost based on machine hours, activity-based costing assigns manufacturing overhead cost to goods in a more rational manner. Activity-based costing attributes cost to more operational that generate overheads in the first place. The cost of those operations is then assigned to goods which actually are in demand for. So for the mind map in specific, we focus on two aspects. The first is factory based, and the second one is non-factory based. The factory based includes uh, three types of divided costs as well, which includes traced and allocated. The traced ones includes direct labor as well as direct materials, whereas the allocated one includes factory overheads. Coming to the non-factory one, it only includes selling, general, as well as the admin and miscellaneous expenses as well. For the second mind map, I for the second mind map, I picked cost behavior as well as its effect and uses. So management's effort to explain how operating costs change in response to a change in organization level of operation is known as cost behavior analysis. Direct products, direct labor, and operating costs incurred during the development of a product are examples of these costs. Cost behavior analysis is usually carried out by management using statistical cost functions. In order to determine cost functions, it is recommended for the management as well as for the human resource department to take consideration the following aspects. First of all, includes variations in cost engine, which are primarily responsible for the changes in overall cost. The second one includes reasonable range in cost behavior that can be summarized as a linear cost functions. Talking about mind maps in particular, it's divided into three subparts. The first one includes fixed cost, which has two subparts in that as well, which includes cost by flexibility as well as cost by traceability. The flexibility one includes committed fixed cost as well as discretionary cost, and the traceability one includes traceable fixed cost as and common one. The variable one includes variation by a narrow range of activity done by any sorts of functions within the organizational level, and as well as the high range of activity which is done with the same.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks so much, Anshul. So that is it for our presentation today. Thanks so much for watching, Professor Joseph. We appreciate it and have a great day.
Thank you.